We talk a lot about inspiration in this podcast. Inspiration from stories, or inspiration from nature, or inspiration from people. So I would like to share a personal story of inspiration. It is actually a long time ago, but the very first time I read a wonderful book, The Once and Future King by T.H. White. What jumped out at me most of all was the description of Merlin's cottage and all of the elements of Merlin. I loved that character. For the first time, I knew that was a character I wanted to live with in some form in my imagination for my entire life. But there was one other place in the book that really caught me by surprise. I haven't read that passage for many years, but it's like I just read it today over breakfast. It is toward the very end when everything has gone wrong. King Arthur is sitting alone in his tent, defeated. The battle he knows is going to be a total loss on the next day. The round table has crashed. His ideals for Camelot have completely been destroyed. He really feels like everything he worked so hard for has come to nothing. And he's in a deep despair about that. And then he looks up and sees that there is one other person nearby, and that's a young boy who has been charged with holding the torch at the entrance to the tent of the king. And he calls to the boy and says, "Come on over here." So in this moment of total despair, King Arthur looks at the boy and says, "Why are you here? Why are you here of all places, boy?" And the boy straightens up and says, "I'm here because I want to be part of Camelot. I want to fight for justice. And I'm going to go out there on the battlefield tomorrow and serve all of the ideals of the round table." And King Arthur looks at him with great surprise and says, "Boy, you will not do that. You will go behind the lines and not fight tomorrow." And the boy says, "But I want to fight." And King Arthur says, "No, I want you to do something even more important. I want you to become a bard. And I want you to live a long life and tell the stories of Camelot so that that flame will never die. Even though we are going to come to ruin today, now, in this time, there will be no Camelot. If the idea stays alive in people's hearts, then there's a chance that it may yet come again." The boy nods and says, "But really, I really would like to fight tomorrow." King Arthur says, "No. Now I would like you to kneel." And he takes his sword, and the boy, still holding tight to the torch, kneels down in front of him. King Arthur says, "What is your name, boy?" And the boy says, "My name is Tom." And so King Arthur says, "All right then, Tom, be a light bringer. Whatever you do, wherever you go, bring light to people. Bring ideas that matter. And keep on shining." You know, I know it was just an accident, total serendipity, that the boy's name happens to be the same as my name. But that passage just struck me like an arrow in my heart. So that's how I hope to live, to bring a little bit